What's up, girl? No, we're not doing this again. No. No. What is up, all you cool cats, and welcome back to Platinum Zero. Now today, I know my intro is slightly different than it usually is. That means I'm evolving slowly. I've grown a pair of legs. I can go outside. Not that I will go outside, but I can if I wished. Anyways, I wanted to talk about a game that either you will agree with my opinion or you'll hate me. But don't worry, there's a solution to that problem. Just don't watch my content. Yeah, that's a good thing to say to your audience. Anyways, I wanted to talk about No Man's Sky. You know, the worst game of 2016, the biggest lie of the internet. Hello Games are now worse than Konami, etc., etc., etc. I wanted to say something though. No Man's Sky isn't that bad a game. It's just kind of average. A little bit boring. If you ignore all the lies and garbage that was thrown around by an idiot who had no idea what they were doing, it's just meh. It's a game where you explore lifeless planets trying to gather resources to build new items to help you survive the environment. You know what? I should probably stop listening to another YouTube video in the background while recording this one, because my train of thought definitely doesn't work when I hear a voice in my ear that isn't my own, at least. But as I was saying, travel from lifeless, boring planet to lifeless, boring planet in an attempt to gather resources to make more things, to explore more places, and do the exploring easier. There isn't really much to the game, and it's not inherently bad. It's a well-crafted game. You know, the game doesn't crash. The things that it does well, technically. But it's not really a marvel of science. And I think the only reason people are really mad at No Man's Sky, if this game was just dumped out onto the PlayStation Network, I don't think anyone would care about it. I think there would be, like me, some people who play it on and off, especially when there's updates. But other than that, it's the promises, the hype that was built up. It was, you know, where's the multiplayer? If there was no announcement for multiplayer, people probably wouldn't care for it. They would maybe raise a hand and say, hey, so some multiplayer would be pretty neat. You know, I'd like some multiplayer. But instead, people are angry because there is no multiplayer, since that was a promised feature by one of the not promised, that feature specifically wasn't really promised, but it was more hinted at. And the idea of seeing like other players in the world, like what they were doing, that was also something that was kind of promised in a way. It's all the reason why people hate No Man's Sky, in my opinion at least, I might be wrong, is the disappointment. It's the promises, the high expectations, which is completely understandable. I'm not saying, hey, don't believe the thing that this person says. And this entire topic for this video was brought on by like a conversation I had during the podcast, where, are you sure that, like, I was told that this game's developers, Hello Games, who previously made a really good kind of stunt motorcycle game that I can't remember the name of, but it was a really good game. It was two actually. They were both really good. The Hello Games were compared to Konami, which I don't know, that comparison kind of doesn't work because Konami ruined a well-loved franchise, whereas this game might have ruined the chance, the possible chance of a franchise that no one really cared for. Like, there's no love for No Man's Sky before it came out because no one played it yet. I'm starting to get like loud and excited into this argument I'm having with someone who is technically not here. And if he's watching the video, how'd you like that intro? That was sort of the intro that I had for that last video that wouldn't upload, and hopefully this one uploads, because if it doesn't, I'm gonna friggin' use the microphone that came with this PS4 and like hang myself. I swear to goodness, if I put a lot of time and effort into this video, and it doesn't upload, I'm turning my channel into a prank channel. This is gonna become a prank channel. I swear. Pranks in the hood, messing with black people in the hood. Watch, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna be the next Joey Salads with the crouton crew. Anyways, I don't know why I'm having this existential crisis with myself, but you know, it's fine. Everything's fine. Just whatever. But back onto the original topic. Yeah. Just I just drank a soda because my throat's all dry. Or took a sip of my soda. I don't know. I putting aside all that, you know, no man's lie hype. I enjoy No Man's Sky. Like, I'm kind of stuck with the game because I bought. Long story short, I pre-ordered Persona 5 and I had most of the pre-order done. But then, or I think I had the whole pre-order like down. And then suddenly they were like, "Hey, it's another delay for the American English whatever release." So I siphoned some of the money from Persona 5 and I bought the new Final Fantasy 15, 17, 18, whatever number it is, Final Fantasy 2, and No Man's Sky, because I was bought into the hype, and I think it was like just the release of the game, so I hadn't been told that worst game ever, 0 to 10, we were lied to. I want to castrate Hello Games. Let's crucify them. Because, you know, it's a normal response for a game that's just mildly disappointing, but had some big promises. And also, by the way, I'm making jokes about people who use the No Man's Lie, you know, catchy thing. No. Literally everyone used it, except for, I think, Jim Sterling, who, as a, you know, cynical joke based off of that name that everyone was using for their No Man's Sky rant videos, he just named it like judging whether or not No Man's Sky lied to us, or Hello Games lied to us or not, something like that. I liked it. It was a funny name. But I don't know. I guess I never really bought into the hype. One, I'm not the kind of person that watches, like, you know, interviews and stuff, so I only heard about promises from other people or from like articles, like on like, not even reading the articles, just like on Kotaku, you can just see the title of the thing. I was like, oh, if that's a thing that actually happens, that'll be pretty neat, I guess. So when it was released, then, you know, it didn't live up to the hype. I was just mildly disappointed, like, oh, well, that sucks. Back to exploring the infinite depths of space, because if you didn't know this, I am a huge child, and space is cool. I like space. Space is freaking neat. Dude, space is like an infinite expanse in which anything could be there at any time. Space is magic. But, whatever. I guess no one has childlike wonder. And of course, I'm not saying don't judge the game. Don't judge the devs for, like, lying about don't judge one of the people that kept going on to interviews and stuff and saying, yes, you can totally make out with sweet alien babes in this game. It's basically the fucking greatest game ever made. Everyone's gonna love it. It'll be massively multiplayer online, and the game goes on infinitely. And the ending of the game will quite literally change your life. You will become freaking. Your mind will be blown all over the wall. It'll be amazing. But you know, if they didn't have that one guy sitting there constantly saying stuff like that, this game would just be kind of below average or above average, depending on who you are. I say above average because I like space. Space is cool, but you know, other people who aren't, you know, giant like children will say it's below average because it's, you know, not that good of a game. And one of the main one of the things I kind of like is the fact that the game devs are constantly updating the game. So they're not just releasing it and leaving it as, whoops, we screwed up, just leave this husk of a game here. No, there's been updates, like a lot of updates that add interesting new mechanics into the game. Now there's like a base building thing where you can like build a base and you can hire people to like take up different like facilities at your base. It's really not segmented, but like specific. I don't know the word, but basically the way I'm making it sound is that you could like hire people to just walk around your base and like, no, you just hire them and they go to their specific facility, sit there, and then you talk to them and they're like, hey, can you go get me this specific thing or do this thing or explore this specific location? And then you do that and they're like, okay, here's a free upgrade, thanks, baby. So that's it. You know, that mechanic isn't that interesting, but I don't know. I enjoy No Man's Sky in a kind of I like space kind of way. And I'm waiting, and I will constantly, I'll be here, since I'm stuck with the game, I can't return it for the full refund, and that would suck if I just returned it for like, if I took it to GameStop to do a trade-in, or whatever it's called, and they gave me like 50 cents for the game, because everyone loves GameStop, am I right? I'll keep it, and I'm gonna continue exploring space. And there are some interesting things that happen in the game, at least on like your first run through, like going to a base and doing things in like the broken, like rundown base. The Atlas storyline is kind of neat until you get to the ending, which I'm going to spoil it for you right now because the ending's terrible and everyone has spoiled the ending for everyone already, so I'm not the first one to do it. But at the end of No Man's Sky, if you go do whatever the Atlas tells you, you basically make a new galaxy or whatever, a new star in space, but the entire ending is just like a really, really slow fade back that, like, scroll back, whatever, through space. Basically, it's what it looks like if you would take the footage of you flying forwards and then reverse it. There you go. And then, bam, a new star is born. And then they put you on a planet in that galaxy or whatever thing. They put you on a random planet in there. And now you start over the game. And at the beginning of the game, you start with a broken ship, so you gotta repair some of the facilities and no supplies. So they start over the game, your ship is broken, and you have no supplies. I think you have no supplies. I haven't beaten the game myself. I'm telling you the ending that I stole from other people who spoiled it for me. But the ending is so bad, I am totally fine with the fact that they spoiled it for me. But it looks like there's a new path you can take through the game with different characters. Instead of going for the Atlas, you could go for some other dudes. Or you could just reject everyone entirely and explore space. I don't know. Maybe I am giving this game too much flack, I guess. I do understand that the game's bad. There's a lot of things I like that are not good. And there's a lot of like movies I like, or shows I like, games I like that are just, I listen to reviewers and they're like, yes, this is terrible, it's one of the worst things ever, I hate it. And I'm like, what? But I mean, it's kind of good, right? You know? Like, there's a lot of reviewers that hate the Persona 4 anime. I like the Persona 4 anime. I find it really enjoyable. Of course, you know, reviewers only say good things about the Persona 4 games because it's Persona. I say games because there's Persona 4, and then it's a re-release on the Vita called Persona 4 Golden. Which I know that the Golden anime was trash. At least I can acknowledge that. So any of you out there that were worried that I was going to say Persona 4 Golden, the animation is good, don't worry, everything's fine. You can. So apparently when it comes to audio on the PS4, you can only record 15 minutes at a time. So I'm just going to do my outro now. I hope to see all you cool cats in the next video. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. And there's a little bell next to that that notifies you when my content is released. Hit the like button to show that you enjoyed the video, or the thumbs down to show that you hated it. And I hope to see you cool cats in the next video.